A small, crowded office in New York is the home of שראל, the Volunteers for Israel organization. A board meeting is about to begin. On the agenda, as always, is the issue of bringing volunteers from around the world to help Israel and the IDF. The driving force and initiator of this unique program is former General Aaron Davidi.
You got 410 seats. On December 31st, you have to fill them. That's all.
Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. Davidi welcomes yet another fully booked special jumbo jet carrying hundreds of volunteers to Israel.
How does it feel?
Feels great.
Love it.
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Passaic, New Jersey. Chicago, Illinois. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Denver, Colorado. Texas.
I am from Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Earthquake country, San Francisco.
This is my cousin, Joji Tabletsky from Tucson, Arizona.
But this is the most wonderful reception we've ever gotten. I'm going to a base somewhere. I have no idea. I have no idea. Come on. Give us a base. They haven't told me.
We're going to the dig. We're going to try and help find artifacts to find something from one of the times of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Maybe.
For the next 3 weeks, home is mostly a military base. Living conditions are not exactly 5-star, but they are comfortable and provide the basic necessities.
I didn't expect wonderful accommodations. I expected to work hard. I expected it to be totally different from the way I live at home, and it is.
I've been worse than this. Much. That's okay. It was fun.
One sweater, one belt, one hat, 2 shirts.
First thing upon arrival is getting into Army uniform, which bears the special tag שראל, a civilian volunteer. In no time, it's hard to distinguish between the newly arrived volunteers and Israeli soldiers on the base. The Army menu contains all the basic nutrients and, of course, arouses various reactions from gourmet food critics.
With a sauce, marinara sauce, imported from Italy. It's too sharp. Too seasoned. I don't like it.
I like it.
But it's very elegant dining here.
Whatever it was really good.
The ancient Gamla fortress on the Golan Heights, 7,000 miles from New York. The region is a key to Israel's defense on its northern border opposite Syria. The task at hand is cement mixing. Not all the workers on the site are Israeli soldiers. Definitely not Mark or Ted.
Here, you know, I mean, look at what we're doing. It's, you know, they got to do this, and we're helping.
Westchester, New York. Mark Poland, 26, has recently completed his service in the U.S. Army. For Mark, it's the second time on the שראל program.
It was great, you know, I had a fantastic time, met some fantastic people. So I expect to go there, help out, you know, work hard, and meet people, see the country a little, and just get a good feel, you know.
Mind-altering experience, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really gave me it's a good way to see the country, you know. This part of the country I actually never saw that well. And I feel like I really seen a lot. Yesterday I built a fence. I built a fence, barbed wire across the top and everything. I've never built a fence before.
2 weeks earlier, Ted Stroll, a young businessman working out of Manhattan and dealing with computer equipment supplies, also enrolled in the Volunteers for Israel program.
No more day trips up to Boston to try to drum up some business. I mean, I'm out here. I've got, a somewhat normal routine where I roll out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I never did in New York because I never liked waking up early. But here I actually wake up early. It's great. I mean, I feel like I'm a part of things. Spent a lot of time working with the soldiers that are working on the base where we're stationed. And, it's really nice because you get to talk to them, you get to see how they really live.
We had a good friend here in terms of someone who talks to me about life here.
Pamela Baker, a Johns Hopkins student, is living proof that mixing cement is not an exclusively male job.
I was born with. I've always been very good at mixing cement ever since I was a small child. She would say, "What are you doing? You look awful. Cut your hair." My mother. Hi, Mom. I love you.
Debbie and Paul Kaufman have chosen to learn firsthand about some aspects of the rich history of this nation. So they enrolled with a group that went to the archaeological digs in Beit Sha'an.
Oh, yeah. It's another world. Never thought that I'd be here doing this, but it's wonderful.
Thousands of miles and several centuries separate the Beit Sha'an dig from Wall Street. Paul works here as the manager of a small insurance company. The name of the game here is digging for money. In Beit Sha'an, you dig for ancient history.
We found a number of ancient coins and lots of pottery pieces. No silver dollars, but I know that they found a treasure over there of all kinds of silver and gold and whatnot.
For those volunteers who work here, uncovering mosaic floors can be even more exciting than striking a good business deal.
It's amazing. You can't describe it. This floor hasn't been seen in over 12 centuries, and I'm like one of the first ones to walk on it again.
The paratroopers jump school. Jamie Zock was assigned the highly responsible job of folding the parachutes that would be used by the soldiers on their next jump.
A lot of things and moving a lot of things, but it's demanding. You need to pay attention to your work. People are counting on us to do it right. Why? Because if something's not right or if tape's not off or there's a part missing, then somebody could get hurt.
This job in particular, as well as the whole program, seemed to have answered the expectations Jamie had back home.
The United States is very one-dimensional for a Jewish person. I want to go and I want to experience exactly what other Israeli people do. And I want to give something back. I wouldn't feel right if I just went on vacation. I want to know what someone in the Army does.
So you're part of our program now?
Yeah.
What's your name?
This is Eddie. This is Ray.
Eddie, nice to meet you.
Apart from the regular assignments on the base, Jamie is a member of a special law students group, which during its stay in Israel got to learn about the Israeli judicial system.
We had a civil court or criminal court judge talk to us, district court judge talked to us yesterday, and we also saw some trials in progress. And it was very interesting.
For those who prefer working in public service jobs like these 4 students from Queens, the program offers work in hospitals and other welfare institutions.
But it's definitely in Tel Aviv, which is a city. We're not going to be in the middle of nowhere, so that's good.
Indeed, they are sent to Kfar Shvedi in Jerusalem, where they help nurse mentally disabled children and adults.
Work is hard, but it's good. It's really good. It's good, it's rewarding and it's enjoyable. I love the kids, they're fun to work with, and I like the people here, they're very nice.
They bring with them motivation, desire, love of Israel, and the will to learn and to work, and they can do a wonderful job.
Laundry work may seem tedious, but nevertheless it is a new kind of experience.
I may have to start doing the laundry at home now.
It has always been claimed that the Army is the melting pot of Israeli society, but in the Beilinson Hospital laundry, This myth is a daily reality.
We have Arabic and Yiddish and English and Hebrew and what's it, Yemen. All 5 languages.
How much speak we do Iraqi?
Yeah, Iraqi.
Mary from St. Louis and Dolores from Montana can't speak Hebrew, but it seems like there is no communication problem.
So hard, this one here.
Hospital work is just one of the many options available to those who prefer to work in the civilian sector. There's always a great demand for help in community centers, project renewal, and in the Kibbutzim. Kibbutz Kfar Haruv overlooks the Sea of Galilee. Volunteers help set the tables in the kibbutz dining room. They also pick avocados in the plantation, much needed help during this season because the fruit must reach Europe on time.
It's freezing in the morning, but otherwise it gets nice. Well, I love it.
The tasks may vary, yet all are equally important. Working on tanks, gardening, maintaining the border fence in the Jordan Valley, handling fuel barrels up north, as well as maintenance in the naval base of a lot down south. North or south, east or west, it can also be painting. And painting. And painting. And even more painting. Meetings with Israelis, which at first may seem like encounters of the third kind, soon become much more than just casual acquaintances.
What do I do? I finished college, finished with the university, and I work with accounting, bookkeeping. I've made a good friend here in terms of someone who talks to me about life here.
What's his name?
But you assume he's a man, don't you? We're on a soldier, like an army base. His name is Ellie. Hi, Ellie. And he has a little baby. Hi, Ellie's baby, and a little wife.
One of the ways in which they get to know Israelis better is during weekends in a kibbutz, moshav, or in the big city. They meet Israelis on street corners, and by the end of the Sabbath, become the best of friends.
אחר כך הולכים לטייל בתל אביב, אחר כך הולכים לישון.
Okay, so coffee, dinner with the parents, tour around Tel Aviv, sleep.
Sightseeing is one of the main features of the program, yet there's more to it than a mere tourist experience.
This program's been really good. It's been, they've taken us a lot of places, seen a lot of different things. Every day after work, we even go around the Golan, see different things. Like yesterday, we went to Banyas waterfalls, and you keep busy, really busy. They take you to a lot of places. It's like a, big tour. With a little work in between. Don't forget the pubs. And the pubs.
The Volunteers for Israel program is also geared to removing the language barrier. Hebrew lessons enable volunteers to conduct basic conversation, but for those who would really like to master the language and read Israeli newspapers, שראל offers a special 4-month ulpan, which combines work, study, and practice.
המתנדבים.
The Volunteers for Israel program may even help some participants decide to make aliyah. What influence does this program have over their decision?
It helps you form a decision because this is probably as bad as it gets. So if I can take this, then I can take living here.
בהם גאונים וצדיקים, ארזי הלבנון וגדולי התורה, אנשי
Yad Vashem, the memorial to the victims of the Holocaust. Here you can feel the eternal bonds that tie together the past, present, and future of the Jewish people. 3 weeks have flown by. It's time to leave the base, which has become home, and say farewell to friends until they meet again. They came here from all over the world. From France, Brazil, Argentina.
Dear volunteers, your service is done by physical labor. This is the best way to experience Israel. You'll find here your roots as well as modern Israel with its multiple Jewish backgrounds. Your care boosts our morale. Your participation in rebuilding the Jewish homeland will be your reward. When you return home, you'll carry some of Israel's flavor with you. Be goodwill ambassadors for Israel.
When they meet at the annual Congress, they realize they have shared a unique experience together with thousands of volunteers from all over the world. The experience of being one with Israel.